10 unbelievable moments discovered in the epicenter of the ocean. Howdy, fellow socially isolated amigos. Has the title lured you in for another adventure to kill time, or are you as interested in strange things as we are in sad animal facts? Oh, that's another great title for next time. For now, we hope your eyes, ears, brain, heart, but most of all stomach, is strongly with us. Even though we are 7.53 billion strong, we inhabit only 29% of the land. The rest is covered by vast stretches of oceans as blue as my sadness. Moving on, let's dive into the most unsettling events buried in a coffin of the ocean. Hold up that magnifying glass, Sherlock, for we have 10 strange occurrences in hand to solve. But before you fling yourself off the adrenaline cliff, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, if you be so kind, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a treat from us. 10. A 2,000-year-old computer. At first glance of history, you'd think Neanderthals only knew how to hit the ground with clubs and yell, but they were the ones who discovered fire. We continue to underestimate our ancestors, which is what happened when this massive rock, shaped like a cogwheel, was discovered accidentally in a shipwreck between Greece and Crete. You'd think by now we'd be experts on rock. No, not Dwayne Johnson. Focus! Even though this ancient computer was discovered in 1900, it took most of the 20th century to understand the workings. If you have an inclination towards tech, it's going to blow your mind to know with more than 30 gears, each intricately hand-cut into equilateral triangles, these moves to predict the movement of 6 planets, moon, and even the sun. Is Mars in retrograde? Don't ask me, you have a rock to see that with. 9. A whale funeral. Well, I'll be damned. Prepare your heart, for you see, this whale makes you wavy sad. Okay, no more puns. Romeo and Juliet can take a back seat, as this tragic tale is far worse to feel. Whales are known to hold funeral ceremonies for their loved ones, and some, like the orca with their black and white tucks, have their dress code already perpetually on. In an interesting anecdote, a sailor narrated his accidental crash into a whale funeral. On his Reddit account, he spoke of a close encounter around the coast of Japan in 2007. It was a full moon, and instead of werewolves, he saw another miracle. As the whale breathed its last, its close ones started making sounds and blowing air through their air holes for at least 15 minutes. I'm sure you've heard of whale music. Not only do whales have a naming ceremony, but even their funerals are sentimental. Dogs? We don't even deserve whales. 8. A fleet of military battleships. World War II, bitter and only sour disaster, had a chilling incident. A surprise feels good, only when accompanied by cake later, but Japan was far from that moment, for it wasn't candles that blew out, but their military vehicles into tiny inhuman shreds. Operation Hailstone was sure hail as 2 cruisers, 4 destroyers, 6 auxiliary ships, 32 merchant ships, and over 250 aircrafts sank down around the Caroline Islands around the South Pacific within 2 days. 4,500 soldiers were gone in seconds. In the 1960s, a man by the name of Jacques Cousteau hit upon the wreckage and made what's known as the tourist version, Turk Lagoon, a must-see sight. Who would want to miss seeing a graveyard of broken dreams after all? Many of you even know what incident this is. Take 5 seconds to guess. Yep, this was the Pearl Harbor that devastated many lives, remnants of which you can definitely find here. 7. Mariana Trench, Pacific Ocean. How deep is your love? I bet not deeper than the Mariana Trench, for it holds the record for being so. You can probably hear that song in the first line more than 30 times on loop if you ever decide to reach to the bottom of the water body. It's 36,201 feet. A feat I can't even begin to measure. This exploration has been accomplished by only 3 people in the world. The population was mentioned before. Do you feel the wonder now? One of them was James Cameron. Talk about the method directing, eh? Aptly named after the Greek god Hades, the Hadal Zone is the ocean's Pandora box, where rough surfaces and high pressure keep most humanity away. Do you want to be the 4th? 6. RMS Republic's Golden Legacy. Ahoy mates, avast ye! Get that eye patch and buy a toy parrot. For we have a treasure adventure to swim to around 80 kilometers away from the coast of Nantucket, Massachusetts. Aye, it's sad to read about ships sinking, but what if we say the price that could be earned was $1 billion worth? Wait, now before you even complete this video and start packing your gear, it's also crucial to know that none of the then worth $3 million coins were recovered back. Even though many have made it their life mission to find this fortune, the failed expeditions have piled on faster. Sink your teeth into the research before you end up sinking. 5. Strange appearance of skeletons. Remember the days of school where a random skeleton would hang in your science lab? At least that was fake or with some source. Now picture this. Hundreds of skeletons more than 1,000 years old just strewn into the bottom of a lake. Identity unknown, origins equally unknown. At the base of the Himalayas in India, the Lake Roopkund is a massive, macabre underwater graveyard. A British reserve ranger stumbled across this in 1942, and since then rumors amongst the forensics industry floated. Was this genocide? Maybe this was a mass suicide. It could be remnants of a brutal war on Mother Nature's natural course to blanket her children back into her. Oh man, I got goosebumps. 4. Dementors. Expecto Patronum. Fictional, fantasy, or reality, it's as if all came together to laugh at the poor face of this sailor who narrates the tale, and no, not of ancient mariner of Long Island. During a foggy night with dark waters hungrily moving to consume you, don't look at me like that, one has to set the mood, right? Anyway, the captain and sailor were having a conversation on the stir, probably almost hugging since the fog was so thick you could barely see 10 feet away, when there was an unusual sound. You'd expect a mermaid or at least a siren story out of this one, but hold your ones, young potterheads, for this one was indeed the soul-sucking creatures, the dementors. With long black flowing robes, they glided towards them until the two realized it was just black flags. Oops, didn't mean to end that on an anticlimax, but then again, if this was true, you'd already have gotten your letter from magic school by now, right? 3. The Neptune Memorial Reef. Approximately 3 miles off the coast of Key Biscayne, quite near Miami, Florida, lies yet another graveyard. The difference, though, is that this one is man-made in all senses. This is a sustainable step towards a green burial where you can choose to nourish the earth not just inland but underwater too, once you perish your mortal body. Isn't that cool? It's been approved under many guidelines and enthusiastically promotes marine habitat. This replica of Atlantis City has helped shoot marine life in the reef to thousands in number. Even though diving is allowed, let's try and make that the last day, at least for me, for I don't have the wish to meet water ghosts. 2. Titanic. If only Rose had let Jack be on the plank too, there was enough space. But then, how would an iconic movie like Titanic make the tragedy timeless? We have to understand that one moment defined the symbolism for losing 1,517 passengers while being able to save only 700. The RMS Titanic was a luxury liner that set sail for its maiden voyage on April 10, 1912. It had its course lined from England to New York, but alas, an iceberg changed the whole destiny. The beautiful ship ended up in 2 parts, slowly sinking to its demise. It took more than 2 hours, and yet as its 108th year rolls in, the sadness of loss doesn't go away. I guess this is the cue to play the despondent vocals of Celine Dion. Now it's time to unveil the number 1 unsettling thing, and this one goes out to all the Americans who've ever sighted this phenomenon. Safe to say, it's nothing short of spooky. 1. UFO lights. October 2019. Wait a minute, that's like literally now. Well, the stakes have been raised. A cluster of random lights was found twinkling over off the coast of North Carolina in the US. A man named William Guy was kind enough to upload the evidence for one and all to see. It was as if the sky had a personal chandelier as the lights moved in a formation. Now your detective brain would say it could be something else like military aircraft or personal ones. But on confirmation with the army, there were no flights scheduled on that day. That can only mean one thing. It's time to pack your bags and maybe move to the moon, since we already know more about it than our oceans. But the biggest surprise is that these lights flew off towards the Bermuda Triangle. Amelia Earhart, was that your ghost? Well, there you have it. Does this video give hair-raising moments of what have been discovered in the epicenter of the ocean? What do you think? Let us know in the comments and support us by liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.